Hello everybody, welcome to this video. This time I'm going to talk about good and evil. How do we integrate and transcend good and evil? Now, there's a lot of confusion and a lot of ignorance surrounding these concepts, and it's actually all about how creation works. And if we are ignorant about how creation works, we easily do a lot of miscreation, where we create our own reality in quite undesirable ways. So these things are very important to understand and learn about so that we can take more responsibility of our own creation. And to explain all this, I'll use a framework that I introduced in some of the earlier videos of mine, especially the one on body identification. And in that video, I talked about how many different truths can be true at the same time, depending on viewpoint. And this framework says that something can be true, something can be not true, something can be both true and not true, and something can be neither true nor not true at the same time. And in this video, I'll apply this framework on the issue about good and evil, and we will see how we can take a look at good and evil from all of these different positions. And to talk about good and evil, we first need to define what good and evil means. And I use the definition for good as consciously creating more possibilities and freedom for oneself and others. Evil is more of the opposite. I define evil as consciously limiting another for one's own benefit. And this might be material, psychological, physical, or other energetic benefits. Material might be the case of a thief. Psychological might be the case of a bully, somebody who puts another one down for the inflation of one's own self-image. But the important thing is energetic benefits, because it's all about absorbing energy from another without giving anything in return. And this can also be a bit more subtle. So here, evil might be consciously manipulating an individual or group into false ideas and promises for one's own benefit. And this is about the unseen, because our physical senses can only perceive a fragment of what's really going on. So something can be presented and expressed as beautiful and good, but when one looks at the hidden layers, this might be a creation from a very negative and self-serving intent. So what happens is that people feed their attention and their life force into these creations that they perceive as good, but in reality they are only absorbing their energy. What this means is that a lot of people, from very pure intentions, from very good intentions, they actually support and create evil unconsciously. So they miscreate, since they do not really understand what their energy is being channeled to. So the manipulated, they take actions for the purpose of freedom while creating limitation. And this is the reason why our society and our reality is as distorted as it is. Now, from this position that there is good and evil, the most important thing is energetic integrity, where one starts to make informed choices that benefit one's own and other people's energy, freedom, and possibility. And energy is what we need to explore, perceive, and express all that we can be. Let's move on to the next position, the next perspective, where we see that there is no good and evil. Here we look at good and evil as contrast, where good and evil is different parts of the same whole, both serving the growth and expansion and expression of reality. And this contrast is there to grow certain qualities within consciousness. Some of these qualities might be discernment, strength, responsibility, and direction. We need to be able to discern what is true, what is false, what brings freedom, what brings limitation. And this is something that we learn from these contrasting energies. And we can also see that it brings strength from us. Take a look at our movies. We have movies where we have a hero, the good, and a villain, the evil. Usually, the hero becomes a hero as a response to the villain. Without the villain, the hero might never have gone into its full strength, its full purpose and full potential. So we can see that these different contrasting forces work together to create the best expression, the best expansion of consciousness. Another example might be in our sports. Look at how our athletes becomes the best that they can be as a response to their opponents. Without an opposing team or an opposing player, why would anyone train? Why would anyone train and become the best and reach one's potential if there is no opponent to face? So if we look at it from this perspective, we can see that the opponent, or what we call evil, is actually something that can be built into reality to grow consciousness to its full potential. So from this perspective, we see that there is no good and evil, that there is only the higher good of consciousness. Now we move into the third position. There both is and isn't good and evil. And here we can see that both of these different perspectives had their own merits, and both of them are very useful in how we navigate and orient ourselves through our life experience. So both of these are legitimate and both of them are important. And this is the third position. Lastly, we have the fourth perspective, where it is seen that there neither is nor isn't good and evil. And this is the non-dual view. Here it is seen that reality is prior and beyond good and evil. So these concepts do not even apply. And this view is great to have. It gives a great level of freedom. However, if one do not integrate the other views, one can be quite detached from what's going on, and one is still not free from having their energy absorbed. This non-integrated view is something that we can witness in many well-meaning non-dual teachers today. People who are only looking at society and reality from one perspective. And this means that these people can still hold many distorted and false beliefs about how reality works. This also means that they can have their energy absorbed and that they can unconsciously support a lot of creations that are limiting themselves and other people. And this is a very sneaky problem, so it's very, very important to integrate all of these different perspectives so that one can be free and fluid within one's consciousness. When one is free and fluid within one's consciousness, and when one have access to one's complete energetic capital, one have access to one's complete potential to explore and express all that one can be. And this is what this study of good and evil is all about. And that is all for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.